Right now, just joining us is Mr. Jesse Carlton. Happy Ndongo. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Recovering from a tough weekend, but I'm okay.
Tough weekend. We're going to talk about what made it so tough. Okay. You're a motivational speaker, spoken word artist, book author, CEO of Easy Group, and all-round Mr. Africa, as people are fond of calling you. But then there's this project that Cameroonians highlight a whole lot when they talk about you, Tous Bâtisseurs.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that, but the big question to start off is, what do you think Cameroon needs?
Well, Cameroon or Cameroonians? What Cameroon needs, I think Cameroon needs Cameroonians.
Okay.
To be more involved in Cameroon.
Yes.
That's what I think. I think that we need to be much more concerned by everything that happens around us. Mm-hmm. We need to be much more concerned and understand that we are just a result of anything that happens around us. So I think Cameroon needs Cameroonians.
Yeah, to be more involved. I like that. But then does Cameroon need Cameroonians to clean around, to become better individuals?
Yeah.
What does cleaning have to do in developing yourself?
Well, the word Tous Bâtisseurs, it's about building.
Yeah.
And the first step to building is cleaning.
Okay.
If you get a piece of land, you clean the land first. And in our environment, we have a sanitation problem. But as we walk, we realize that the problem is not what we have to pick up, it's how fast we throw. Because Cameroonians throw faster than we pick up. This is a clean table, but if I clean and I throw again, clean, throw again, it's always going to be dirty. So at the end of the day, what we're doing is just indicating that we are trying to pick up, so you just throw a little less. So that's the message that we're trying to put across the Cameroonians today.
This stays with me. This definitely stays with me. Let's throw less. And pick up more.
Pick up more, exactly.
What inspired you to come up with Tous Bâtisseurs?
Well, like you said, I'm a general manager, not CEO.
Okay,
general manager of Easy Group. Mm-hmm. And we are an events company, marketing events company.
Okay.
And we were 1 year away from the African Nations Cup.
Okay.
And our intention was the fact that we cannot host an event in a dirty country. So that's basically how it started. But after everything that happened and the date moved and everything, we decided to stay on the whole citizenship side of things.
Yes.
To be all involved and basically just share with our brothers how we can all get involved in the environment.
So how do you organize this in different cities in Cameroon? How is it organized?
Well, the first time was just a meeting point. Mm-hmm. We actually got inspired by, back in the days there was a lot of, you call it in French, marche sportive.
Okay.
So we decided to do the same thing, just that we'll be picking up. So we'll basically give a meeting point. People come through, they get gloves, they get everything they need, and we walk a distance. So it's at the same time sports, it's at the same time cleaning, it's at the same time different people from different regions meeting and interacting. And sharing the common purpose of a better country.
Okay.
Yeah, it's much, for us it was, and then also, we use social media to show how dirty our country is. Maybe we can also show how much we try to clean the country. Yeah.
Not only show the situation of things, but what you are doing about
to move the things. Yeah, because back in the days there was this trend where people used to take pictures by the trash.
Yes.
But you do not think about the trash.
No, you take the picture and then you walk away.
And then you walk away. So that was okay. It was interesting to at least show that there's a problem. But now let's all get involved in the solution.
About it.
Exactly.
But you have an interesting method. You work with celebrities. How do you get to decide which celebrity you work with, and how do you get to choose them?
Yeah, well, we don't choose them; they choose us.
They choose you.
Yeah,
so how does it work?
I think we live in an environment where I think people actually want to get involved.
Okay.
Famous people want to get involved in projects, but they don't have it. They don't have the opportunity. So as soon as they come across a project that is making sense, they usually just, they would give us send us an email, a text, and they would join us. And, at the end of the day, we're a marketing company. So it's also an advantage for us to brand the whole clean side of things. People follow the trend. So the moment cleaning becomes a trend, everybody would clean. So we just choose to work with celebrities, and they really, really help us get the message across. Okay,
you've worked with celebrities like Mings, Mimi, Natalie Koa.
Yeah.
And maybe one of these days,
Caress would join
us. Would join us.
The Bâtisseur.
Love that. Okay, but then you organized a musical as well. A musical on Tous Bâtisseurs in 2018.
Yeah.
How did that tie in? What was the essence of it?
Well, it came from the fact the first day we went clean, and we were actually convinced that we were going to clean the country.
Yes.
But the first day, I mean, personally bent my back and I picked up the first plastic. It was just so dirty, and I realized that what we're doing is just indicating the problem, but we need to pass a message. You understand? So that's how we decided to associate music to it, because we live with music, we do everything with music. So in the music we included in the movement, it's sort of a way to send the message across about the fact that throw a little less, be a little more concerned, and we have health problems, we have irrigation problems. All of that is due to a simple stupid act that becomes a stupid consequence.
Okay, so did you create music around the subject? How was it done?
Well, I'm a writer.
Okay.
So I basically started writing, and I collaborated with two artists. One is called Eva Kapoka, and the other guy is a rapper, Sojip. So I write a text that I understand, and I give it to them, and they transform it into music, and then they do what they have to do. I just write. They do
You
the
didn't
music.
perform maybe some spoken word art in some of the songs? You didn't do that?
I did a little bit, but it's not my first.
Yeah, he doesn't want me to get into that side of, okay, now he's an artist, he's a musician. No, but you're a book author.
Exactly.
And you've written The Story of a Speaker in 2016.
Yeah.
And before that, The What, Why, and How Charity.
Of charity.
Of charity.
Yeah.
Let's start with the what, why,
And
and
how.
how of charity. What's it about?
The first book came from my experience in philanthropy.
Okay.
In 2013, I started a foundation called Carlton Smile Charity, and we basically work today with kids that have lost their parents in the war. Some from Ndongo, some from the north.
Okay.
And I just realized that charity is such an interesting tool to develop yourself. Caresse mentioned the fact that when you meet people, you actually grow, you understand? So in that book, I was basically writing out how much the charity experience can help anybody grow themselves on a personal and a professional level, because the moment you give, you receive just so much that even if you paid for it, you wouldn't have received.
Yes. Is that why you came up with your charity foundation in the first place?
Exactly. That's why I started the charity foundation first. And after about 6 months, the more I observed the impact, that's when I decided to write the book, because it's quite awkward, but I realized that, nobody lives forever. The only thing that might stay is what you write. So that's why.
And what you know, what you've learned, your experience, now we can access it through your book.
Exactly.
And then you have The Story of a Speaker, an audiobook?
Audiobook, yes.
Interesting. So you can listen to it while driving, wherever. The Story of a Speaker. Story of a Speaker. Tell us about it.
Story of a Speaker, it's the willingness to simplify public speaking. And not being public speaking, the art of expression.
Yes.
Because, it's people are scared. People are much more scared of speaking in public than dying. Yeah, people.
Really?
If you ask, people would say speaking in public.
Yes, it's scary for me.
At the burial, some people would rather be in the box than be able to speak. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's important to express yourself, because how do you grow your kids? How do you work in a team? How do you build projects? So, in my experience as a motivational speaker and facilitator, I decided to sort of simplify it into 10 principles. So it's a very digest book, 1 hour, 30 minutes. It's the words and it's the music in the back end, which makes it very simple to understand. So that's the purpose. But when I'm asked, when I'm asked what is the most important thing when it comes to public speaking,
because I was going to go there,
I always usually say it's honesty. It doesn't matter if you're a stammerer. It doesn't matter if you're slow, if you're well dressed or not. Just be much more honest. The moment you're honest, it's the most important thing. The style, the posture, all of that comes afterwards.
Yeah. So be honest, and then you won't stutter, you won't sweat or panic. Really, that will help you.
You might sweat, but the most important thing is not what you look; it's what you the
say.
message you come across. So at the end of the day, if I'm speaking to 1,000 people, and I'm stammerer, I would move, I would sweat. If they get the message, that's the most important thing. The next phase is the packaging, but what's important is the message that has to go across. I'm
tempted to go on and ask Jesse, what next? But you have to get the book to find out more. That's the essence of it. But then you talked about being a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
And there is a name that pops up when I was doing research about how you came in to this. It's Eric Thomas.
Yeah.
How did it inspire you?
I was actually working on my book, I was following an online training, and there was a module on motivation. So I clicked and I watched this video, and I was like, what is this? This is very interesting. And I said to myself, people need this in my country. So when I started watching a lot of videos, but the intention was to share what I was seeing and hearing. So when I got back home, I started sharing 1 or 2 conferences. I went back to my high school. And then, people started telling me that they actually love what I'm saying and how I say it, And that's how I just started developing the skills. And today I consider it more facilitation, actually, than motivation, because I realize that people don't need instruction. They need direction, So I just try and, assist the people I work with, the teams I work with, associations I work with, to help them, in the direction they're trying to take.
And most people, sorry, I'm going to use the word motivation again.
Yeah.
Most people believe that motivational speakers sometimes are not motivated themselves. Yes. So how do you stay motivated to be able to motivate others?
Even the priest is a sinner, and he says it every Sunday in church. So just because I motivate doesn't mean I'm always motivated. Just because I heal people doesn't mean I don't need to be healed. At the end of the day, I would say it's really just about the main thing about motivation, in my opinion, is understanding the why.
Okay.
Why do you do what you do? The moment you keep in mind why you started, why you working, why you do whatever, it would always be the motive, that would drive you, even when everything else looks like it doesn't make sense.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about building your brand, because you're an expert in that as well, because he was part of the recently held Cameroon Music Business Forum, and he's right here with us. Hello, Jesse.
Hello.
Again. You were part of that forum, and I snooped in on your Facebook. I just have to confess. I snooped in on your Facebook. And you had 3 points.
Yeah.
Let's discuss them. The first one, you said the number of views doesn't equal more money. What did you mean by that?
Well, I mean that the views is just the views, and I took an example to say that just because the brand like Toyota sells many cars, it will never cost more than a Rolls Royce. You understand? So at the end of the day, people see you, it's visibility, but visibility is not equal to your credibility. You can be seen, but why are you seen? So at the end of the day, it was more about bringing out the fact that you can be seen, you can be known, but why are you known? What are you known for? That's what's important.
Is that important in the music business? Because every day when I look at it, it's like every publicity is good publicity in music. Does that work?
Well, publicity is good.
Yeah.
It's good, but it doesn't, like I said, it does not affect your paycheck. What's important, it's good to be known, it's good to be seen, but what's the why? What's the reason people would follow you? What's the reason people would believe in you? And that's what you need to work for, I think it's just because maybe because people think that visibility is too expensive. So when they get it, they think like, oh, okay, finish, I made it, bam.
Yes.
But no, there's still a lot to do. When you look at an artist like Beyonce, with all the fame she has, but you look at all the work she puts in, and the purpose, and everything that has to be done, it should send out a message, to who we are as Cameroonian, to the fact that we're doing good things here, we're a little famous here, but at the end of the day, our country needs much more than that.
Okay, so famous doesn't mean rich, in other words.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, the second point is notoriety doesn't guarantee durability. Exactly,
because we live in a country where we've had so many companies, so many brands, so many companies. 50 years down the line, where are they today? Look at all the brands we grew up with.
Yes.
Are they all here today? So at the end of the day, there is something, the legacy is much more important. Because you will be dead longer than you'll be alive. You understand what I mean? You'll be dead longer than you'll be alive. So at the end of the day, the world is still going to be around 1,000 years from now. But what have you done in your 70 years on Earth, or 100 years? That's what's more important. So we focus too much on what is seen and what is going to stay and what people say about us. But at the end of the day, what do you intend to leave as a legacy?
Yeah.
That's what is going to stay, and that's what is even going to contribute to your paycheck or whatever.
Okay. Do you think musicians in Cameroon are thinking about that?
Well, I think they're slowly getting to understand that. When I listen to my elder sister, like Karis, I think she's doing what she does for Cameroonians. for her daughter, for her grandkids, for my kids. King Stephen is doing an amazing job. I think people are starting to understand that, But the more we collaborate, the more we understand that, the more we start to become, I would say, a brand.
Yes.
International brand as a country.
Okay. Now, Caress.
Yes.
If I were to ask you, what would you like to leave as a legacy in your music? What would you say, in line with what he's been talking about?
I didn't understand well.
What would you like to be remembered for?
L'héritage.
Okay. The first thing is our true culture. Because we have our true culture and we can mix it. But when we mix it, don't forget our own. You cannot go mix with people and forget who you are. Okay. So we have to keep who we are first. And if you want to go around the world to learn something, we have to add that thing within what we are, not to forget what we are and change everything and prefer to be someone else. Yeah. So my heritage, the legacy I would like to give to the young generation is the first thing you have to know who you are, where you are coming from. It's the first thing. Everywhere in the world where you go, you have to know first who you are.
Yeah. Be true to yourself. Of course, be true. Be true to who you are. And it's good coming from someone like us, because you've been around the world. Yeah. And most of us, when young people, when you step out, you feel like you want to become like them, to be accepted.
Exactly.
But you have stayed true to who you are. I've seen some of your concerts over there. I see Cameroon when I watch you. So that way they get to see Cameroon too. But if you get missing in all of that, finally there's nothing to see because you just look like them. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Girl.
Talking about building a branding business, music business, what would you advise a professional?
First of all, have a purpose.
Okay.
First of all, have a purpose. Your purpose might not make sense in the beginning. But that's fine, But the moment you build on your purpose, people will begin to understand you. And when they understand you, they will stand by you. So the first thing is to have a purpose. The next thing I would say is to have a package.
Okay.
That's when you come to the marketing guy. I would say the way you package yourself, which is linked to your purpose. Because if you have a purpose, even the moment you go to a designer to say, I need this, he would design according to your purpose. But if you don't have a purpose, he's just gonna, he's gonna draw something around. Even the beat maker, he's gonna make the beat according to your purpose. Purpose, packaging, profit.
We're in school here. Okay? We're in school. And then the third point, you said a career is built on how long you live through it.
Exactly. Meaning that, if I start music today, most of the artists today are about between 20 and 25. God willing, you see how about 25 years to 60, 40 years ahead of you. So why do you want to have everything now? Imagine that you wake up tomorrow and you have everything in it. How boring would life become? Yeah. At the end of the day, I think we should view our careers as an adventure, like a game. Every day you want to
the next level,
next challenge. And the reality about it is that every challenge you go through is a preparation for the next thing. So about the career, we should, let go of the reward too quick. Obviously, we have to be able to eat, feed our families and stuff like that. But, we can build our careers with time, because the moment you build, Ndongo is still around. Yeah. Michael Jackson did what he did. He was great. But today, Ndongo is still around. He's still playing his thing. Yeah. And he's living off, calmly. So sometimes we go into the fast life too quick.
Yeah.
We make the mistakes. And then at the end of the day, our legacy gets damaged.
So Jesse, are you asking the young ones not to have a drive and passion and ambition to succeed?
Have a drive, but don't go...
Where is the toppling point?
Of how do you call it? Off speed?
Yes.
When you go too fast?
Yes.
Yeah. You have a drive, but you have to drive at the speed at which you're ready to go. You understand? I am 27, and you see 2 books and everything I do.
Someone would say he's riding too quickly. He's driving too quickly.
Some people will say I'm driving too quickly.
Yeah.
But I put into work. You understand? If I want to do something, I put into work. I get ready. Because if I don't put into work, the moment I get to the success, it would break me. it would break me.
So you need the right foundation.
You need the right foundation, the purpose, the right foundation, the right team, the right people around you to be able to get to a certain... There are many things I could have done today again to be known or whatever, but, you know, life ahead of me, building things, you have family also, you have all these things, but, you know, I'm married and I have to take care of family, take care of mom, take care of kids and everything. So all of that, I know at what pace I go, you know, so, but I have to remain faithful to my pace. But what happens is that sometimes we get peer pressure. You know, I honestly, I had pressure from my family when I embarked on my career to go a certain direction.
Okay.
And I chose my direction, but I stayed faithful to it. So at some point, it didn't make sense, but a couple of years down the line, it's starting to make sense. So I also think that we are pressured by family, like she mentioned. You know,
biochemistry
and everything. And then when you start your career, your friends will tell you, do this, do that, get on this, get on that. At some point, it's important to take the time in the morning before you get out to think and make sure that everything you do, it's in line with your purpose.
Yeah.
That's the driving force that should keep you going.
Motivation here. Thank you so much.